Hello, Jeunesse family! Wie geht's dir? ¿Cómo allez-vous? ¿Cómo está? Okay. It's really my honor to be here in front of all of you. It's my first time actually speaking in Jeunesse, Europe. I am excited. I'm excited because of you. I want to honor is what? Just show up. Give yourselves a big hand. Visionaries for your dreams, because you are some of the first people in Jeunesse in Europe. Congratulations. In Los Angeles, and I fly over here, and what can I bring? Middle of the year 2009, a friend of mine starting a project. In August of 2009, Kim called me and 3 other friends to her house and asked the 4 of us, do we want to start this project called Jeunesse with her? And my background, I've been a business owner for many years, and I've made money and lost a lot of money. At the time, I wanted to make money, and I know Kim is very successful. I say, Kim, if you're in, I'm in. But please teach me how to change my life. Now today, you will hear from many, many successful leaders. And we always talk about in this industry about life changing, how we can change our lives. And for me, 7 years ago, I needed to change. I used to own 3 furniture stores. I had my own real estate business. But because of things that happened, I lost those businesses and a lot of money. I needed to turn my life around. And having known Kim and also known Randy and Wendy for 11 years now, I don't know if I'll ever make money in Jeunesse. I know I could because I'm following the right people. So I just took a chance. How many of you want to hear the story how Jeunesse got started? The real story. The story that you only hear at the kitchen table. I was there. So, in August of 2009, we decided the project is a go. Randy and Wendy getting the back office system ready. We have one product. That's the Luminous Serum. Who is Dr. Newman? I go online, I research. I said, wow, he is very famous. Started from Kim's kitchen table. All started with Randy and Wendy's vision. Now, for those of you first time hearing about Jeunesse or new to Jeunesse, let me share with you something. I've known Randy and Wendy for 11 years. They are not the normal owner. They have 20 plus years creating support and infrastructure in the network marketing industry. They know what they're doing. They have built infrastructures around the world. So, with leadership, starting with my friend Kim, she's a visionary. Already $1 million earner in the industry. But why start it? She was a mom. Her son was 5 years old at home for a mission. There's a call for mission for each of us as why we start the business in Jeunesse. When I travel the world, as I ask many people, why are you doing Jeunesse? Most people won't tell me the why. They will tell me how they got in Jeunesse. But they didn't tell me the why. But if you were a $1 million earner already in the industry, and you have climbed the mountain, and is success hard work? Yes or no? Yes. If you want to be a diamond, I guarantee you it's a lot of work. Sorry, but being a diamond is worth it. So, at that time, Kim had a vision. of changing, using Jeunesse as a platform to help people change people's lives around the world. Randy and Wendy, they know the value. They know what opportunity is. They are self-made millionaires. And together with that, we started Jeunesse September 9, 2009. Now for me, I have never made money in this industry before. I don't know. So I did was whatever, I thought, you know what? Whatever Kim said, let me do first. Whatever she teach, I do first. Let me understand later. You know, recently, I saw a quote. Mr. Albert Einstein, he said, true knowledge comes from experience. It's a good reminder. So, I still remember at the beginning, what do? We got to share what Jeunesse is. Share the product, share the opportunity. The first week, all 5 of us sponsored more than 20 people. And I still remember, you know, because the reason, you know, I never make money before, but I did it. How did I do it? When I look back, Kim said to me, Samson, maybe the first month, I have time to help talk to your new prospects. But the second month, she said she might be too busy. So what did I do? I had to go fast. So I still remember when face-to-face, I talked to 50 people, and 30 people not interested. 10 people I met face-to-face. They either want to use the product or they want to do the business. We had one meeting. Randy and Wendy flew from Orlando, Florida to Los Angeles, 5-hour flight. And Dr. Newman came out from his Beverly Hills office. And I was watching Dr. Newman shaking. And he's like going like this, right? And he's trying to explain the technology. When I saw him, I thought, this guy is just a smart scientist, a very kind doctor. After 7 years, with an incredible testimony of the products, I realized what we are really doing. His technology that's in the Luminous line. This is Dr. Newman's life work. Not only a product, it's his life work. Be proud. Be proud of what we have because it is more than what we all think that it is. Well, at that time, we started the business. And I wasn't making that much yet at the beginning, but I went to do the opportunity meeting. I learned how to speak. I was the one fine-tuning the first PowerPoint with the company, with Lucy West. And we started meeting, sharing what is possible, you know. But Kim is a visionary. She had a message, and she wanted to build a community of people with positive change, the positive attitude that can change the world in a positive manner through this business, this platform called Jeunesse. When you know the value of the opportunity, that was her message. Have we done that, Jeunesse? Have we touched people's lives with a positive message? There is something more out there. Now, last night I had a talk. I had a little sharing with people on my team and other teams. And the thing is, for example, in Europe, there's so many different countries and languages. And as I travel month after month throughout Asia and North America and Latin America, we're all different, but let me ask you, a lot of people come to the business, they think about making money, right? Am I right? But let me ask you, how many of you would rather have happiness than money? Happiness. If you really ultimately, you want happiness, don't you? Do you know people with money and they're unhappy? Would you like to have money and be happy? Would you like that? This is the platform. Jeunesse is the platform that we can do it. And it sounds too good to be true. But what if through your hard work every day with your partners on a very authentic and real level. Knowing their hopes and dreams, seeing them put the effort in and you match their effort. They're not partners, they become friends over time. And one thing I've come to learn in Europe, Europeans are very authentic. If you're a real friend, they call you a friend. If you're not such a friend, they call you a acquaintance or colleague. Am I right? You know, being authentic in the business is how you will touch people through your sharing. And, you know, I have a couple minutes left. I think the most important thing in life, you know, I've become debt-free because of this platform. And I've been traveling to more than 31 countries now, coming to Germany. Month after month after month. Life-changing stories of how this business, the products have touched people's lives. But the only way for us all to be successful as a family is that we open our heart and connect with the people that want to change. The people that are positive, that can carry on the message. The products, we use it, we share it, it works. Not bad for somebody who is almost 48. I use a lot. All over. This is opportunity of a lifetime. It's been incredible, you know, it's been incredible learning how to connect on a physical level, a mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level with literally thousands and thousands of people around the world. And I believe the message needs to be out there that Jeunesse, this is a global platform, global business. Today, we can unite people from all over the world in this company called Jeunesse, be a positive change in the world. Would you all like that? Be somebody who can bring value to other people's lives. I don't know what your dreams are, or hopes are, or goals are. It is here. You can achieve it through Jeunesse. You will stand up here one day when you get your diamond pin. And for some reason, because of the journey you've been through, working hard, side by side with people on your team, and you have seen them from nothing to success, and you stand up here and you are crying. Crying. And some people might be wondering why you're crying. And just because when you think becoming a diamond, becoming a double diamond, it is not because of your own work only. We only become successful if our team is successful. It is the team. And it is only so simple. Just like the Jeunesse compensation plan. Put our self-interest aside and open heart. Give to your team your time, your emotion, your sacrifice over and over and over again. When you get on the stage, not only the pin says diamond, but in your heart is a diamond that shines brighter than any pin. We're in network marketing. Facts tell, story sells. But it's not only sells, it touches. It touches people on many, many levels. And through this connection, you will find your way to become diamond. It's been my honor to be in front of you. I look forward to seeing all of you and your success and hearing your story in years to come. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Diamond Director Adam Gilmer.
Woohoo! Wow! Oh, come on, Berlin, let me hear some noise! I don't hear. Let me see, who? Here? Where? Here? Come on! Backstage, up there. Awesome. Listen, have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you very much. Absolute privilege to be here. In starting, I want to tell everybody that I travel the world with my incredible family. My wife, Jessica, who's right over here. And so everybody knows, Jessica, wave hi. There's Jess. And our 5-year-old who's asleep because he's jet lagged. But I'm here to tell you that Jessica's dad is actually German. This is the first time she's been to Berlin. Can we give her a warm round of applause for being here in Berlin for the first time? Awesome. Listen, I'm very, very happy to be here. My message is, why are you here? That should pop up on the screen. Oh, there it is. Why are you here? Let me tell you why I'm here. I'm here because yesterday was an amazing moment for our sales organization. Yesterday, when they called up the rubies and they called up the emeralds, ladies and gentlemen, we had 3 emeralds on stage yesterday. 3 emeralds. We had 4 rubies. The real reason you're here is you're here to build your business. Am I right? Right? And Daniel said something really amazing. I got to high-five him back here. Was that presentation amazing? I was crying over here earlier. I was sitting in the front. Todd was crying. Calvin was crying. We're like crying going through the exercise. I love it when emotions move people. My why is very simple. I write down my goals. I'm going to show you my plan. Hopefully this is going to inspire you to do the same thing. And it's how I live my life. I try to live my life in balance. And complete balance, that is. If your goals, cars, travel, you want to have nice stuff, you have to become an attractive person. How many attractive people do we have here in Berlin? Where's the attractive people at? Okay, watch this. Where's the hot people at? All right, I said you need to become attractive. If you're already hot, that's a bonus. You need to become attractive. And the way you become attractive, ladies and gentlemen, is figuring out what's stopping you. What was stopping me was, a month ago at Expo, I was on a diamond panel, and they said, Adam, what do you wish you had done back in the beginning when you were first introduced to Jeunesse? If you're taking notes here today, I said, contact more people. How many of you have people in your phone that you've never contacted after you got their phone number? How many? Got those people? Why not give them the opportunity? Let's break through whatever's stopping you. Contact that person who was a person you put in your phone who suddenly became a stranger, and contact that person. Whatever's stopping you, you know what it is. An ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, ex-lover. Maybe you're afraid to talk to somebody. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. Starbucks line, airplane, it doesn't matter. We have an incredible opportunity of a lifetime, and this is how I operate. I live in the 2% mindset. Hopefully this works, all right? 2% mindset. I love going for my dreams, lots of confidence, exploring new things, choosing happiness, fulfillment, getting the most out of life, acting in spite of fear, abundance, living without dreams, liking change, living with excitement, embracing the unknown. Every single person that you've heard from here today are excellent speakers. We're trying to move you from inside the circle to outside the circle. Who wants to be a 2%er? I'm sorry, that's not good enough for Berlin. And by the way, listen, Randy, Wendy, and Scott, they're watching this on Facebook Live. We want to let them know who wants to live outside the circle. So this is what I call the wheel of life. Now, for those who know me, I happen to believe in special creation. I don't ask you to believe my beliefs. I'm respectful. But I happen to believe that you were created for a purpose. And what I do is I start out making sure that I give my creator some thought and feedback. Actually, just before I came on stage, and you know, there's several of the speakers coming up. Calvin's one of them, Calvin Presaria, and we're walking past in the corridor, and he says, man, nervous to give presentations. I'm like, that's cool, just pray. See, if you get settled with yourself so you have a spiritual connection with your higher power, that's a great way to start. Great way to start every day. Then the next one I have on here is brain. You're here to take in knowledge, specialized knowledge. And this is how I operate my life every single day. Then I look after my body. Oh, oops, Daisy, go back a slide. And then look after my body, being, brain, body. I manage my time. I network with people. And for some strange reason, when I do the wheel of life, being, brain, body, time, and people, guess what shows up? One person in Berlin gets it. One person. Being, brain, body, time, people, and money. These are the 6 areas of your life you'll have to learn to balance. And when you learn to balance, great things happen. So, what is your spiritual connection? What do you really believe in? Do you think we were just an accident? Or are you more in tune? And by the way, for those folks that think we were just an accident, that's cool. Do me a favor. Go and spend some of your time with somebody who's in a cancer ward, stage 4 cancer, dying. You'll become connected to this person, and the thing that they want the most is just more time. Steve Jobs gave an incredible letter. Everything up, we just have more time. Time to be a conscious being. Brain, taking in knowledge, taking notes, writing things down, very important. I'll cover mine in a second. By the way, how many Google graduates do we have in the room? You know, you look something up on Google and you got the answer? See, no Google graduates in Berlin? Just a few? Thank you. You look something up, you research it. Go and research, Dr. Giampapa, Dr. William Amsalog, Dr. Nathan Newman. Get to research the company. Take in some more specialized knowledge. Very, very important. Body, this is a good one. Mark McDonald pulled Calvin up here the other day and said, you got to, here's a specimen, right? Here's what I want you to do. Do you have a workout plan every single day? Are you going to the gym? Jessica's a fitness model, and she works out almost every single day. So it forces me to get up and go to the gym every single day. It's one of the things we love doing together. I want you to start treating yourself like an animal, $1 million racehorse. By the way, if we all invested in $1 million racehorse, how would we treat it? What time would it be getting up in the morning? What would it be eating? Who would be training it? Or would we keep $1 million racehorse up all night? Will we make it smoke and drink and get completely drunk? And then expect it to run a winning derby race the next day? Not if we invested in $1 million racehorse. You have to become grateful about yourself. You have $1 billion body. I'll say that again. You have $1 billion body. How are you treating your $1 billion investment? Not well? Time. All the presenters talked about time today. There's 86,400 seconds in a day, 1,440 minutes, 168 work hours in a week. And how you manage your time is very important. Some people get incredible results from time. Others don't. People. How many of you have a negative person in the family? Or somebody negative in your life? All right, yeah? Here, let me tell you the secret. You put them in a little box, and you... And then if you want a dose of negativity, chase down the box, open the box, let it out for a minute, put it back in, throw away the negativity. You cannot build a business with negativity. Actually, if you're talking with me, the moment the conversation goes negative, I'm turning it positive. Why? I dislike people taking away my dream. How many people know there's some dream stealers out there? Dream stealers? Okay. You cannot change the people around you, but you can change the people you choose to be around. These diamonds and double, hang around some of these people. Get some influence from them. Money, last one on the list. What's enough money anyway? How much is enough money? Is it the average what a diamond makes, $1 million, $1.2 million a year? Some diamonds are making $3 and $4 million a year. My sponsor's making 5 times what I earn in a year. And by the way, Jason was here with me last night working with the team from Georgia, where they're at. Here we go. Until 2 o'clock in the morning. Then he went and jumped on a plane and flew home. Oh, by the way, when we left the dinner last night, we jumped in a car with Kyle and Alice Gropov so we could get to the meeting on time. Jason decided to ride in the back, in the trunk of the car. Just telling you, humility. What kind of people are you hanging around? You got to balance your wheel of life. If you don't start balancing brain, body, time, and people, money, it ends up looking like this. If some of you saw this sign, what would it mean? Danger. That's how your life is running. Danger. Start balancing all 6 areas. And when you start to balance all 6 areas, great things take place. If I put 4 flat tires on this supercar and said, let's go down the Autobahn, how fast could I go? But if we put balanced wheels on and said, let's see how fast we can go, some of you would like to take that car for a good ride. This is the kind of life we want to lead. So really fast, I have a system that I use to make my life balanced. I have a purpose statement. I've got a little over a few minutes left here, so I want to show everybody this. And here's what I do. Very simple. I balance my life. I have a purpose statement for what life means to me. I have my goals for the next 5 years planned out and organized. Then I go through them month by month by month at a time. And then here's my action plan. Every month, every quarter is planned out like this. So I guess my success is an accident. No. People call and say that I'm lucky, and I tell people I create my own luck. How many of you would like to create your own luck? Start living a balanced life. Jim Rohn says your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. You've got to set some smart goals. Make them realistic. You've got to have a plan. You've got to work both sides of your brain, the analytical side and the creative side. You've got to take what we're doing as a company and make it work for you. That's what I do with Jeunesse. Jeunesse is our vehicle for success. Have you made it your vehicle? Wilfredo Pareto discovered the 80-20 principle. 20% of the things you do get you 80% of the results in life. You 20% of the results. Let's focus on the 20 that get you big results. The 2 most important days of your life is the day you were born and the day you find out why. I started this presentation by asking you, why are you here? How many of you plan on building a business? Yes? How many plan on being customers? How many plan on being both? Excellent. So I'm going to leave with you this last minute, 2-minute video. I'd like the lights to come down, please, and I'll play the video for everybody.
Sometimes we have to ask ourselves, what's using my life? One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're happy, and sometimes you're sad. Now that's that thing called life. And when we begin to understand and know that, accepting that reality, that we will never ever have things just on an even keel all the time, that you're going to have some ups and you're going to have some downs. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. Anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships, the children are acting normal. Anybody can be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. How you handle it, that's where the growth takes place.
It's a pleasure to be here to share a few thoughts.
Of course, Les Brown's not with us, but ladies and gentlemen, this is how I make it work inside Jeunesse. I hope you choose Jeunesse the way I did. I made Jeunesse my company. Now it's your choice to make it your company. Berlin, Dankeschön.
Anybody who thinks I can't do it anymore, best step right back and take that. Take. 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 Take.
But you know when.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Diamond Director Paula Pritchards.
Hi. Hi there. Hello, Berlin. Great. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. I hate to come out after all this pounding hard music. And you know what's interesting is I was back in the back, way up in the top, listening to all the trainers, and they're so good. And what I love about them is they're all so different, and which is perfect because you're all so different. So anyway, I just thought a few days ago, I was trying to think what message did I want to share with you. And I actually want to share with you a couple stories. A few months ago, in the United States, there's a top journalist. She's very successful. She has a primetime show. She makes about, I don't know, $15 million a year. And she wrote a book, and the book is called Settle for More. And I happened to catch her being interviewed, and the interviewer asked her, what made you come up with that title? And she said that she had been a lawyer. She was working for a corporation. She was a corporate litigator, and she hated it, just hated it. And she came home one day and she turned on the television and she saw Dr. Phil. She tuned into the Dr. Phil show. Does the Dr. Phil show play over here? And on this Dr. Phil show, he was talking to someone and he made this statement. If it comes up here. There it is. The statement was, if you are not happy where you are, it is because you chose to settle for less. Now, I have to tell you, there were probably millions of people that saw that same show, millions of people that probably heard that, but only a few took it to heart. And she heard that statement, and she says, I'm so happy, I've got this great career, I'm so happy, but I have settled for less. So she left the legal career, she started over in journalism, she worked her way up and became very, very successful. Because it certainly applied to me. My formal background is college teaching. I had a very prestigious teaching job. I was going to grad school at night, finishing my PhD. I was chairperson of the curriculum committee. I was chairperson of the recruiting committee. The university had asked if I would coach the track and field team. We went to different universities. That meant my evenings were full, my weekends were full. During the winter, we went to AAU meets with some of the top athletes. So I was busy pretty much all around the year. And so consequently, when someone asked me about network marketing, I didn't really feel that I had the time. But again, it would have been easier to stay in that career, but I would have settled for less. So that happened. And also around the same time, I got a call from a gentleman that owns a company called Sound Concepts. Sound Concepts provides network marketing materials. It handles books, handles my book, it handles recruiting materials. And he called me to say that they had a motivational speaker who was writing a book on the laws of network marketing. And he wanted me to do an audio tape on the 3rd chapter. He wanted me to talk about the 3rd law. And I said, what is the 3rd law? And he says the 3rd law is the law of intentional stretching. So let me see if that changed. Okay, too fast. And I said to him, I says, intentional stretching, I can talk about that. Although I call it expanding. I call it intentional expanding. What do I mean by that? Expanding means that you come to this event and you grow, you change, you become better. How does that happen? Well, you come to an event like this and you get better understanding of your company. You get better understanding of your product. You get better understanding of how the compensation plan works. You get better understanding of your company's role in this industry, in this profession called network marketing. You get an understanding of why the world needs this. Do you know there's conventional companies out there? One's called Airbnb. Have you heard of that? Another one's called Uber. And these companies are growing. But do you understand what they do? You know, they're like, one mirrors itself as a hotel, the other one is a taxi. In other words, people are willing to let strangers come in and stay at their house, or they're willing to let strangers get in the back seat of their car because they want to make money so badly. Who would have ever thought that? And these are people out there waiting to hear about your opportunity, waiting to hear that they could make unlimited income. But when you come to something like this, you also expand in your story. Because see, just as a carpenter has tools to build a business, just as a painter has tools to build a business, your tools are your words. Your tool is your story. And the more you come to events, the bigger the story is. If you have a small vision and you're telling someone about this business, it'll be a teeny-weeny story. If you have a big vision, it'll be a big story. It's kind of like if any of you drove to this event and you were going through the countryside, and I said, well, what did you see? Well, I saw a farmhouse. Okay. But somebody who starts to grow and paint a picture might say, well, I saw a farmhouse. It was white. And the barn was red. And they had a porch swing. And in the front of the house was a weeping willow tree. And there were children playing, and there was a dog with a stick in its mouth. And across the street were these cows. And then alongside of it was this cornfield. all of a sudden I'm visualizing everything you're saying because you're painting a story. You can't paint a story about Jeunesse until you get the story and vision right in your head. At the same time, you'll grow in belief. In other words, you'll see people come up on this stage and you'll go, my gosh, I could do what they did. I could get to that point. I can relate with that person. I love to come to events and see people succeed. And I know that they can relate to some of the people I invite. I used to make a joke about I'd come to these events, and every time I came, I'd be just hitting my head because I thought, why didn't I get so-and-so here? Why didn't I insist that part of my team was here? Because while you're expanding, they could have been expanding. At the same time, you're going to expand in commitment. You're going to get more serious. You know what I call events like this? If you do enough of them, it's like laminated wood. If you laminate wood together and make a wood beam, it's stronger than a steel beam. And the stronger you become, the more you will become successful in this business. And if you can expand in these things, you can build a good business. But I will tell you from the very start, if you want to build a great business, you're going to have to expand your comfort zone. In other words, you're going to have to step out and do some things you never thought you would do. You know, there's an equation in network marketing. The equation is you, rejection, success. That's how it works. I have a good friend. He was with 10 network marketing companies. He didn't sponsor one person in those 10. On the 12th one, he finally sponsored 126 people over a 13-year period. He's one of the top earners in network marketing. He made millions. I don't know what it was that changed. Maybe he came to the events. Maybe he expanded. Maybe he stepped outside of his comfort zone. But you know, as in an ivory tower at a university, there are certain things you just wouldn't do because it would be too embarrassing. But I got to the point, I wanted this business so bad, I would do anything. You know, I knew that I had a list. And I knew that once I went through that list, I needed to add to it. I needed people. I needed to meet people. I had been through the rejection. That was painful. That's when you get a no, and then you're down for the count for about 3 weeks, and then you get enough courage to go talk to somebody else. They say no, you're down for the count another 3 weeks. It's like I used to turn a 3-second disappointment into 3 weeks. But eventually, when I decided I wanted to do it so bad, there were times I would make calls every single day, and I committed to myself that I would do it. I would go to shopping malls just so I could meet people, so I could strike up a conversation, and I would do more listening than I was talking because I wanted to know if they loved their job, if they were happy, what they wanted out of life. I go look at new cars to meet people. I go look at RVs to meet people. I go to shows. I go to exhibits. I go to trade shows. I go any place, concerts, any place I could meet people and strike up conversations. You know, I learned to take rejection like a waitress would take when you say, no, I don't want dessert tonight. Does she sit there and cry? No, she goes to the next table. Would you like dessert? Would you like dessert? And so I learned to take rejection. I learned to be strong and step out of that comfort zone. There will be some people who come to an event like this and say, well, I went to the event. I keep going to the events. Sometimes you can learn and learn and learn, but you got to do to make it happen. You know, there's people who will say, well, Paula, if you were my sponsor, I know I could be successful. It wouldn't make a difference. My sponsor quit within a few weeks of when I got involved. His sponsor quit the next couple months. I had to go 5 people up just to get somebody to help me. I know one thing is no one is going to do it for you. Not your sponsor, not your upline, not a meeting, not a product, not an event, not a promotion. Some people say to me, well, Paula, I could do it if we just had an office in my country. Or Paula, if we just had things translated, I could be successful. I'm going to tell you, I have opened countries without offices, without translation, and it was all up to me to make it happen. Just like I say, it's all up to you. You know, there were times when I was building the business, you know what my evenings were like? I did opportunity meetings every night at 8:20, 6 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to some of the leadership meetings in people's homes. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. A long distance business when I was building was 50 miles away. You know, so, but it's still a belly-to-belly business. It's still relationship. Even if you meet people on the internet, they want to work with people they trust. They want to work with people they like. You might say to me, well, Paul, I couldn't do that. I say, are you kidding? Do you know what my life's like? Do you know what it's like to not have to answer to anyone? Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning after you're done sleeping? Do you know what it's like to go anywhere in the world? Do you know what it's like? My passion is motor coaches. I've had big diesel buses since 2000. That's like a traveling home because I want to travel and see the world. You know, there's nothing that's impossible. When I saw the trip to Bora Bora, I thought, that's in the bag. I can't wait. This company provides not just an income, they provide a lifestyle. But see, it all comes down to you. You know, sometimes when I talk at these events, I feel like I'm talking to Paula Pritchard back when she was a young girl sitting in the back row thinking, I could never be a Stefani. I could never be a Fabian. I could never be Damien. I could never be those people. I had myself talked out of it before I even started because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't know I could do it. I want to tell you, you make a decision, then what you have to do is you have to stay on your game. You don't have to worry about who was on the stage. I mean, who these people were, who I was before the stage, you wouldn't even recognize because we were all starting out. You know, I used to say to myself, and I look in the mirror and say, Paula, don't quit today. Because if I used to start saying, if you didn't want to quit every other week, you just weren't working hard enough. Because I'm going to tell you, it's hard work. It's painful. But you know, I did that schedule for 33 months and became one of the top in the industry in my country. You can be, thank you. You could possibly do the same thing in 24 months. But you've got to make a decision. I mean, how long are you going to live? What's 24 months? You can do this thing. You just need to believe in yourself. Make a decision. Believe in yourself. Stay on your game. Don't look left. Don't look right. Don't get distracted. Because I want to tell you, there is no price too great. I think this is a mic drop. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage double diamond director, Calvin Becerra.
What's up, guys? Hello, Berlin! Are you guys having an amazing time? Excellent, excellent. Thank you, guys. So my message today is, it's taken me a while to think about it for you guys. I want to make sure that if you invested into coming to an event like this, that I can make as strong of a message as I could for you guys. And I'm going to try to bring it my all today, okay? But I need your energy. Is that okay? Perfect. So give me that energy. How many of you in here want to be successful? Okay, we all do. How many people in here think they deserve to be successful? But why do you deserve it? Is it because you've put years into this industry? I know I've been in this industry for 10 years. There are many people who have been in this industry longer than I have, or even the same amount of time, but there's a lot of people that are reliving their first year over and over and over again. They've gone on 3, 4, 5, 6 companies, and they continue to relive it over and over again, have no real experience. Is it because you've done a ton of meetings? Is it because for the last 4 years, You've done a presentation on your birthday. Have you missed your kid's birthday? Today's my little girl London's birthday. She's 5 years old. Happy birthday, London. My family knows that I have a bigger purpose, and that's why I'm here, to help you guys. What is your purpose? What you guys need to do in order to become extremely successful is be able to write your story. Your story is a number of variables. Your story has to include obstacles and challenges and taking adversity head on. Your story has to include an incredible work ethic. Your story has to include succeeding over and over again and watching it all fall apart just to rebuild it again. Have any of you experienced that before? Some of you, not all of you. That's all part of your story. I'm always chasing success every single day. For me, it's not about the prize, but it's more about the process. And when I say the process, March 6, 1981, I was born along with my twin brother Brandon to my mom, Donna Marie Strobel. Her dad's German. And we grew up in the poorest neighborhoods. We lived in cars. We lived in motels. Every single year we lived in a new place. Horrible conditions, but that's all we knew. I remember we were 11 years old. My brother and I alone lived in a motel by ourselves the entire year. We had to grow up very fast at a very early age. But what me and my brother decided to do was we decided that when we were young, we were going to do three things. The first thing we were going to do was we were going to work. We were going to work every single day starting at the age of 8 years old to earn money to bring back to our mom to pay the bills, to help her relieve the stress. She worked 3 jobs and still couldn't afford things. We were going to work very hard in school because we didn't want to repeat the cycle that our family had repeated. There was no one in our family who had ever gone to college. No one had been successful. And everybody was just negative, down and out on their luck. We were going to get involved in organized sports, and we were going to be the best athletes we could be because one day we wanted to go to college. And if our grades weren't going to get us there, the sports were. And the final thing was we were going to change the cycle because we had a little sister. Her name was Amber. She's 4 years younger than us. And we wanted to be the best example for her, and we wanted to be the best example for the family members that would be born after her. And I remember we were 8 years old. We worked job after job after job. We mowed lawns. We washed cars. Every dollar we made, we gave it to our mom to pay the bills. It wasn't a lot, but it was something. It was extra. It was that work ethic that was instilled in us at a young age. And I remember we played sports. We ran track. I wrestled. We played football. We played baseball. And during every moment of adversity when we played sports, if we were down and out, if I was behind in a wrestling match, if I was at the plate and I was behind in the count, I'd look in the crowd for my mom. And I'd try to make eye contact with her. And just beyond her eyes, I made that connection. And at that point, it made me work harder. It made me drive deeper. It made me take pride in what I was doing in that single moment. Do you want to know why people quit? It's because they don't take pride in what they do. Do you want to know why people stop? Because they're selfish. They only care about themselves. Do you know anybody like that? Maybe some of you have been those people before. You don't have to be. You could change. There has to be something bigger than you that keeps you going, gives you a reason to do what you do. For me, I was honoring the sacrifice that my mom had made for me. That's why I worked so hard. So it was nothing for me to never back down during the face of adversity. It's when we make decisions that we run into problems. We face points in our life that are tougher than us, that causes us to quit because we don't have a real reason of doing what we're doing. My brother and I wanted to go to college, so we went to the best private school we could. It cost a lot of money. We were poor. We couldn't afford it. But my brother and I decided we were going to work 3 jobs a day to pay for our school. We were janitors in the morning, scrubbing toilet, vacuuming floors, dusting off the desk for the workers. We go to school. We go to our sports practice. We worked at a gas station after our sports. Then we worked at a restaurant at night. And every single time we got paid, we'd take our money to the tuition department at our high school to pay our tuition. And we paid our own way through a private high school. Why? Because we wanted it. There was a bigger purpose for us. We were the first ones in our family to go to college. We got full ride scholarships that paid for our college because of our academics and for sports. That's how hard we worked. First ones in our family to graduate, get degrees. We graduated at the top of our class. We got really good jobs. I got involved in the real estate industry, which I knew nothing about. All I had was a degree. But I was willing to sit and learn the business. I was willing to respect the process of what that real estate industry gave me. I was willing to listen to people on the phone and learn the language of the business. I was willing to work hard to achieve success. And within my first 3 years, I became a millionaire in that industry in real estate. And I made over $1 million a year for 3 years. In 2008, the market crashed. I lost everything. I lost 7 houses. I didn't have any mentorship that taught me how to manage my money. I thought I knew what I was doing. And a neighbor of mine introduced me to network marketing. He was persistent with me. I eventually got started. I became very successful very quickly. Why? Because I had a work ethic. Within my first year and a half, I was the youngest $1 million income earner in that company. Thank you. But that same person that introduced me to that business took my business out from underneath me. Came to my house one day and said, "Hey, Calvin, I'm going to join another company. And unless you join me, I'm going to take your whole team with me." I was 26 years old. I never would have thought that anybody would have done that to me. And I looked at him and I said, "I don't think you know who I am. But since 8 years old, I've worked my ass off to earn everything I've got." In high school, I was scrubbing toilets in the morning when you were probably playing video games at home. I worked 3 jobs a day to pay for my high school. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college. I've earned everything up to this point. I've worked hard for you and this company, and you're going to take it from me. And I said, "I don't even need you to the process." I enjoyed the journey. And over the next 5 years, I built an enormous business with some incredible leadership. I experienced duplication of my business, and today I have business in more than 80 countries around the world that pays me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I have leaders that are about to pass me up. I have people on my team who are not even diamonds yet that will pass me up. It's about leadership. This is a leadership, what we're building here. It's incredible. You guys know who Sylvester Stallone is? Sly. Have you guys ever heard his story? It's an incredible one. Since he was a kid, he knew what he wanted to do, and he knew why he wanted to do it. He wanted to be a movie star. And he said he wanted to make people believe that the unbelievable could come true for you. And at his young adult life, he was trying to get into movies. He lived in New York City. He must have went to more than 1,500 auditions over a 3-year period. There are only 3 or 4 agencies in New York City. That means he went to each of those agencies more than 300 times. Got rejected time after time after time again. Finally, he went to one call, and he never left. He stayed all day. He stayed all night. The next day, the agent came back, and he was sitting right there. The agent said, "Get in here." And he gave him a spot in a movie. His spot was really short. He was a thug that got beat up. That was his first spot in a movie ever. He thought, "I need to change my course." And he just stayed persistent. He went to the library one day and he started reading the poems of Edgar Allan Poe. And he read those poems and he thought, he learned how to think outside himself, how to think for other people first before he thought of himself. And it pushed him to want to be a screenwriter. So he started getting involved in writing movies now. And he wrote a few movies and he went to go try to sell them to different companies, and nobody wanted them except one company. They paid him $100 for his first sold screenplay. It was called Paradise Alley. I don't think anyone's ever seen it. That $100 was a lot to him, but it went fast. His wife told him to get a job because it wasn't working. And he didn't want to get a job because he thought if he got a job, he'd lose his direction, he'd lose his hunger. He knew what he wanted. He stayed committed. He just changed his course. One day, he decided he was going to sell his wife's jewelry. And guys, the day you decide to sell your wife's jewelry, your days are numbered probably, right? He sold his wife's jewelry. That money went out quick. Then he said, man, his wife began to hate him. The only person that loved him unconditionally was his dog. He went to the liquor store. He was looking for someone to buy his dog. He was selling it for $50. Somebody finally came along and bought his dog from him for $25. He sold his dog. His best friend. $25. Eventually, he was watching a Muhammad Ali fight. And it was in Muhammad Ali's late days. He began to become the underdog now in his fights. He fought this guy named Chuck Wagner who said he was going to knock him out. I'm going to knock out the king of the world. The fight actually lasted 15 rounds, and fortunately, Muhammad Ali won that fight. And it was because of that fight that inspired Sylvester Stallone to write his screenplay, Rocky. And he wrote Rocky. He stayed up 20 hours and wrote that screenplay. And 20 hours with what he had written, he went out and shopped it around and said, oh, this movie's too predictable. People didn't want it. They said, oh, everybody's going to know the outcome. Nobody's going to want to watch this film. Finally, one person said, I want to buy it off you for $125,000. That's crazy. $125,000. Sylvester Stallone said, okay, but as long as I'm in it, I want to be the star. You can't be the star. You're a goofy-looking guy. You have a speech impediment. You're not going to be the star. You're not the star of Rocky. I want to be the star. Okay, then I'm not going to sell it to you. So they came back to him a couple weeks later and said, well, buy it off you for $250,000. He said, I can't do it. I want to be the star. They said, all right, $325,000. We'll give you $325,000 to buy that screenplay off you. Nope, won't do it. So they said, okay, you know what we're going to do? We'll give you $30,000 and we'll give you points in the movie because we're taking a risk on you. If the movie makes out, then you're going to get paid. He said, okay. He got $30,000 right there. You know what he did with the money? The first thing? He went to find his dog. He went to the liquor store. He waited 3 days. The guy walked by with his dog. He said, I want to buy my dog back. I'll pay you $100 for it. Nope. I'll pay you $500, $1,000, $2,000. Nope. The guy sold his dog back to him for $15,000. And he said, and I want a part in your movie. He had to give him a part in his movie. That's his dog, Buttkiss, right there. The dog got a part in the movie, too. So guess what? It only cost $1 million to make Rocky. And the film grossed $200 million. Do you think he got paid? Of course he got paid. That's a story of perseverance. That's a story of perseverance. One of the best lessons my mom ever taught me was that you have to finish everything you start. The thing about people getting involved in things is they usually quit when they face adversity. That when they don't like a certain person, they don't like the process, they usually quit something. And the thing about people that quit is when you quit, usually it becomes a habit. And as you get older, you get married, you start a family, it comes back to haunt you, and then it comes back to affect your family. It's not about the outcome as much as it is you looking in the mirror every single day and saying, I gave it everything I could today. You're always going to have opportunities to stop. You're always going to have opportunities to fail. Most people take those opportunities and say, man, why did it have to happen to me? I said, why not me? I could take this opportunity as a chance to bless someone's life. I could take this opportunity as a chance to pay back all those people who invested inside me. The moment that you realize life is a blessing and life is a gift, and if you had to check out tomorrow, how would you want to be remembered? It's got to be bigger than you. The world does not owe you anything. Success is the rent you have to pay simply to exist. It's only respectful to leave this planet better than when we left it, and you have the opportunity to do that. You have people that care about you. What is your story? Put it in writing, sell it to the world, and go make it happen. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Wow, outstanding, Calvin.